What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Aquarium. You may or may not have heard a particular movie called Avatar. Well, Avatar 2 in this particular case. And the monumental task it must undertake in the box office to make clear net $2 billion just to break even. But maybe a little less known, a lesser known storyline of Avatar 2 is the hilarious fake outrage about cultural appropriation and the way that the movie theater stock market has reacted to the movie making a lot of money, but not making all of the money. This is what happens. The modern theater landscape is very different. It is not impossible for a movie to pass the $1 billion mark. And this was a question a lot of people had after the lockdowns lifted. Would people have, the stones to go back out and see movies? And I said at that time that there would be a certain section of the population that would just always be afraid, that would never go out to the movies anymore, not go out to any concerts anymore, all this stuff. But it's not impossible. We have several billion-dollar movies. We had Top Gun. We had Spider-Man made $1 billion. Fast and Furious was really close, and that was even in the thick of it all. So, it's not outside of the realm of possibility, but $2 billion, that's an awful lot of dip. But what's interesting is the hilarious fake outrage that we're going to have a good laugh at. So there was a Rotten Tomatoes critic that decided the casting of white people as blue creatures is gross cultural appropriation. Now, I don't know if you've been outside lately, and I know I have a lot of international viewers. I don't know if, it's different in your country. I'm sure we can all relate to this. Have you seen any 9-foot tall blue people lately? I'm not sure whose culture they're appropriating. Avatar: The Way of the Water debuted in theaters over the weekend, 13 years after its predecessor. And we're going to talk about whether or not it's going to be able to make any money. I don't think it will. But I also don't think it's inherently a bad movie. I think people that really enjoyed the first Avatar movie will surely enjoy the second Avatar movie. It's not, the original Avatar was like a cultural phenomenon, a worldwide phenomenon. And unless everyone just keeps going to see it over the holiday, I suppose it's possible. But anyway, much has changed since 2009. In 2022, casting white actors as blue aliens is racist. It's a form of cultural appropriation, in fact. That is according to a woman named Kathia Woods, who credits herself as a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic. Woods sometimes writes for NBC News. She recently reviewed films such as Babylon, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Avatar 2. Woods enjoyed Guillermo, but she can't say the same about Guillermo. Maybe Pinocchio, you mean? Can't say the same about Avatar. She rated the sequel a 4 of 10 because it didn't impress her. Particularly the casting is to blame. Miss Woods is fed up with studios casting white people as blue Smurf-looking creatures, hence her low approval. Woods calls the beings in the film people of color, whom basic whites should not portray. This is a real tweet. At some point, we got to talk about the cultural appropriation of Avatar, and white actors are cosplaying as POCs. It's just a mess, and no amount of visual effects CGI is going to erase that. Bad lace fronts, dry synthetic braids. Jesus, fix it. Now, obviously, we need to get right into the dunks. This is like the NBA dunk competition. Of course, not only did the tweet get fact-checked, it got ruthlessly ratioed into oblivion, which gives me hope this Christmas season. Readers have added context. They thought people might want to know. The Na'vi are a race of sapient extraterrestrial humanoids who inhabit the lush jungle moon of Pandora. They are extraterrestrials, non-human. There are no extraterrestrials on Earth to play these roles. Therefore, the race of the humans playing them is irrelevant. The fact check, absolutely amazing. Of course, you see, did you see the context placed in your tweet? It doesn't prove anything, and Elon supports the right-wing nuts, but the tweet is staying up, period. They can kick rocks. Sounds like somebody hurt your feelings by telling the truth. It's been all day, including my Instagram. Even Outkick wrote about it. Well, it's probably because your opinion is hilarious. Wasn't there some outcry about the first movie casting POC in the alien roles? I mean, I get the same. What? Ignore the simpletons? I think we're going to have to go. Folks, we're going to have to go to the quote tweets to get the truth on this one. Here is Talib Starks, or Starkez. Looks like a black gentleman. Racist is so scarce in her actual life that she had to utilize extraterrestrials from a fictional moon planet of Pandoria and the Alpha Centauri star system to prove her point. What? White actors are cosplaying as POCs. Yeah, let blue people play the fictional aliens. Stupid. Well, I can't say all that. Daily Wire quote, even quote tweeted her. Blue Lives Matter. No. Oh, the blue. These people are still trying to get attention by getting people mad about stuff like this. Reminds me of people are still shilling crypto stuff. No one cares anymore, but the cost of distribution is so low that someone always tries. Nice blockbuster flag, too, but a good take. At some point, we got to talk about the unabashed racists who see blue alien species and equate it to black people. Yeah, isn't that funny how the people do this with orcs in Lord of the Rings, and then also in Dungeons and Dragons, like nobody actually sees black people as orcs except these weirdos. Definitely one of the dumbest women. Maybe I should tell you your race not to steal native braids. Wait, I don't even understand that. How dare white actors play blue aliens? I mean, there's like literally nobody. Go outside. I mean, all this. And to get to the film itself, the audience clearly likes it. The people that paid to see it, 93%. I'm not an Avatar fan. I don't get like, I know that the film is visually stunning. I just know this. People I trust say this. I've seen the trailers. But it's just not really a film for me. But that doesn't mean it's not good. The critics gave it a 78. Fans gave it 93%. When I see a movie with a runtime that is over 3 hours, it better be Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm over. I don't know about you. I've talked about this. I've been talking about this for months. I'm over movies going over 2 hours. It's getting ridiculous, self-indulgent. I hate it. It's like when musicians, in particular in the R&B and pop rap groups, started making their records like 20 tracks long so they could get more playtime to get awards. The perfect record, by the way, is 10 songs, maybe even 9. 20 songs on an album is ridiculous. That'd be a double disc set, okay? Which no one wants anyway. Few have pulled it off in the past. Smashing Pumpkins did. But you have, this is like, you know, a fine movie. I don't have any problem. It's going to lose money. You have the director, of course, famously saying, testosterone is toxic. What? What? Testosterone trended on Twitter on Sunday, and that's not because it paid $8, blah, blah, blah. Why? James Cameron said, he once described himself as a wild testosterone poisoned young man and labeled it as a toxin that you must slowly work out of your system. What? 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 All these Hollywood types are weird. I mean, there is no way to Elon Musk, testosterone rocks, not going to lie. There's no way that this movie makes $2 billion. And that, by the way, is just to break even. And by the way, he's got, what, like 3 more sequels planned? I don't know if he's going to get funding for it. I mean, this film is going to have to be the #1 film of all time by a wide margin. It's not like they paid a billion, $750 million to make it or something. Like, the budget is insane. And you have an Avatar 2 budget, right? Wait, that's the original Avatar, right? 250 million. That can't be right. Yeah, here, Avatar 2 is so expensive it must become the 4th or 5th highest grossing film in history just to break even. The production alone was in the $250 million range, but director James Cameron isn't willing to give a hard number just yet. I assume it's probably all the video effects they spent all that money on. I mean, is it going to get $2 billion? It seems unlikely. That doesn't mean it's not a good movie. But I think the era of these huge budget films, probably not going to do it. You see, obviously, China box office Avatar opens far below tracking because they've got a coof situation going on over there. They're going to lose. I would predict that they will lose $500 million on this movie, which is unfortunate because, I mean, other than a little on the nose, like climate change narrative, there's really nothing offensive about this movie. The people that really like it. And the media is desperately trying to make it a culture battle thing. I just think it's a movie that, waited too long to exist. Should have came out 10 years ago. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.